It's the biggest opportunity in the history of the world.
Right now can actually be one of the greatest opportunities of your lifetime.
This crash is going to be so big, even if they solve the coronavirus crisis, it's still going to crash. A 100 people, only 2 will do it. You know, 100 years ago, if there was a stock market crash in England, it didn't affect anybody. But now the US market goes down, the world goes down. I hope I'm wrong, but I think we're heading for a global depression. And now the good news is that for those who are prepared for it, you'll do better.
A recession or a bear market often only happens every decade. And so right now we're entering into that territory and we haven't hit bottom yet. You know, things are going to get worse.
Most Americans are clueless. You know, they don't know what's going on.
You're going to have quite a few recessions and moments like this that will happen throughout your lifetime. And if you're smart and proactive, you can really take advantage of it in a great way. And for me right now, I'm looking to double or triple my net worth as things kind of rebound over the next year or so.
The last crash in 2008, you know, I was on Wolf Blitzer's program 6 months before Lehman Brothers went down. And I said Lehman was going down. And nobody listened, but it went down. And so I've been expecting this market to go down for quite a while.
One thing that Warren Buffett is known for saying is that you want to be greedy when people are fearful, and you want to be fearful when people are greedy.
Most people remember 2008. They all remember it because the best time to start a business is right after a crash. I made more money after 2008 than ever in my whole entire life.
And right now, when there's a lot of fear, there's a lot of great opportunities. Sir John Templeton, one of the greatest investors of all time, said that you can make the most amount of wealth under maximum pessimism, when people are the most scared, when they're the most fearful. And if you had that approach and mentality back in 2008 when the market crashed and you had money put aside, you're prepared for it, you could have, you know, changed your life in so many ways and created a lot of wealth.
For those of you who remember 87 and old enough, it wasn't just subprime crash, it took out the entire savings and loan industry. I mean, a whole banking system collapsed, and the savings and loans collapsed, just got taken out. So this market just kept crashing, and I kept saying to Kim, yes. So it was 87, 88, and it just got worse. And that's at 1989, at the height of pessimism, or the depth of pessimism, I said, yes, this is it. I'm gonna get rich now. And as Buffett always says, you always buy when the bears are selling. And when the bears finally give up, that's when you go in.
Well, first of all, everybody can do something, but they won't. And that's the problem. And I think the problem with many Americans is they're complacent. They expect, well, it'll heal itself again.
The reason people are poor or getting their asses kicked out there is because they're wimps. Pure and simple. And that I cannot give anybody, but you have to give it yourself.
So let me just say this, you know, people say, what can I do? Well, everybody can go out and buy silver right now. Silver price went down today. It's good news. It's less than 20 bucks. Everybody in the world can afford 20 bucks. But again, out of 100, only 2 might buy silver. This is the greatest opportunity in the history of the world. It's also the worst time in world history. But what you do with it is up to you. We all use money, but we don't teach people about it.
My rich dad always says, work for assets. So there's basically 4 asset classes that makes a person rich, and there's lots of more, the subheadings and all this. But number 1 is a business. The richest young guys today start companies. It's called Facebook, Google, Apple, stuff like that, you know. Number 2 is real estate. So what my rich dad taught me is a combination of being an entrepreneur in business and entrepreneur in real estate. It's that combination is I pay no tax, and I make a lot more money. Okay, so a lot of guys say, well, I have a business. I say, well, how much real estate you got? Without real estate, you pay tax. That's the problem. And then there's paper, which is stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and savings. That's what most people should be in. The reason savings are good, I mean, paper is good, like stocks, bonds, mutual funds, are liquid. You make a mistake and get in and out real quick. Called liquid. The trouble with these two, you make a mistake, you're there forever. Can't get in and out. So that's why you gotta be very smart before you go in. And the last is commodities. And that's why I own oil. And as the price of oil goes down, people say, "Are you losing money?" I said, no, because in the US, if you deal in oil, you get tax breaks. So I invest $1 million in oil, I get 800,000 back. So I get 80% return day one. So oil is very, very profitable. But I don't invest in oil stocks, very different. Okay, so if oil goes to $20 a barrel, I'm still cash flowing, I'm still making money. So it's at about 40 right now. Hope it doesn't go too much farther, but I still make money, okay?
Check and say, that doesn't seem right, and you don't realize that the government's got a huge hand in your pocket, and you are doing nothing to minimize that. Again,
Correct.
This is what's very different about the rich and the poor.
Well, the reason the rich don't work for money is number one expense is tax. See, there's three kinds of income: earned, portfolio, passive. So earned income is if I get a job, that's earned income. If I'm a doctor or a programmer, that's earned income because I'm working for it. If I buy, let's say, Apple for $10 and I sell it for $20, that's portfolio income, capital gains.
Yeah.
But passive income, which is cash flow, is never taxed. So it's not, and so these guys are screaming right now in America, tax the rich. I said, good luck. Because most of the guys complaining, they don't know there's three kinds of income. And the rich don't have jobs anyway. They have assets. And so the average schmo out there, poor guy, sent the kid to school. They don't learn this. So that's why in Fake, as you were talking about it, there's a newspaper article about Jared Kushner.
Yeah.
And he explains how the Trumps and the Kushners don't pay taxes and make millions of dollars. And the reporter couldn't understand him because our schools will never teach you that three types of income.